Hello, thanks for tuning in. For the sake of mathematics, let's just say you were making $8 an hour. You were making minimum wage at $8 an hour. And for the sake of mathematics, when it comes payday, you're able to buy 8 products. Whatever it is, food, whatever. You're able to buy 8 things. We'll call it 8 widgets. Then along comes federal government. They mandate a minimum wage increase. And now you are making $9 an hour. One would stand to reason that now that you're making $9 an hour, when it comes payday, you should be able to buy 9 widgets, 9 pieces of product. But what if businesses do a few maneuvers or a combination of maneuvers to offset the price of doing business? Remember, all cost to a business is rolled down to the price that the products are being sold at. Who does that affect? The consumer, you, the customer. So you're making minimum wage now, you're making $9 an hour, but unfortunately, the businesses raised prices to offset those costs. You go into the store expecting to buy 9 products with your new paycheck, but Lord and behold, you can still only buy 8. Did you really get a raise? Well, when you look at the bank account, it shows a couple of more digits, yes, but really, what is a raise? A raise is actually purchasing power. The amount of goods that you can buy with $1 or $2. That is what a raise really is how much you can buy with your paycheck, I meant to say. If you're still only able to buy the same amount, did you really get a raise? I'll let you answer that question. Now let's talk about the person who makes above minimum wage. Let's just, an easy number. Let's just say somebody's making $20 an hour. It could be 15, it can be 10, but let's just go with $10 an hour. Let's say you're making $10 an hour and you're able to buy 10 products from the store when you get paid. Now the people who are making minimum wage at 8, they're only able to buy 8 products still. Government comes along and mandates a minimum wage increase to $9 an hour. So the businesses, they offset that cost of doing business by one or a combination of things. Right now, we'll just make it easy. They raise the prices of the products that they sold. Minimum wage worker goes in, expecting to buy 9 products now because he or she is now making $9 an hour. Lord and behold, they are still only able to buy 8 products. Nothing's really changed for them. It was all a smokescreen. But for the person who makes above minimum wage, it has an adverse effect. Because the price of the products that they too go into the stores and purchase has gone up, their purchasing power has actually gone down. Whereas before they were able to buy 10 products, now they're probably only able to buy 9 products. You see how that works? You could be making $20 an hour, $25 an hour. The math still is the same. Businesses, because all cost of doing business is rolled down to the consumer, the customer. And that doesn't matter what business it is. It can be a freaking snow cone business. It can be a lumber business. It can be a home building business. It really is irrelevant what the business is. Businesses tack on all cost of doing business onto the products that they sell. And all cost of doing business is everything from the air conditioning to the lighting. It can be the taxes and the regulations. The cost of those to stay compliant with them. It's all passed down to the products that they sell. This video is not really an anti-minimum wage worker video. I have nothing against people who make minimum wage. I just am trying to communicate that they are being scammed. And the people that the news media outlets try to propagandize to vote for minimum wage increases are being scammed. If it does help the minimum wage worker, it is extremely minute. Where it does the bulk of the good from the federal government and the state government's perspective is they get to collect more taxes on those checks. You have to remember, and I mentioned it in other videos, that taxes are based on a percentage. So if you're making $8 an hour and you're paying 30% tax, I'm just making numbers up. What is the tax? 30% of $8 an hour times your hourly, you would work 80 hours in 2 weeks. Now let's just say you make $10 an hour because the government mandated your increase to $10 an hour. Well, now the government gets to collect 30% on $10 an hour times the 80 hours that you've worked. You see how that goes? It actually helps government more than it helps anybody across the board. So businesses will do one or multiple things to compensate for extra cost of doing business. They can cut hours. They could actually shut their stores down and move out of that location, maybe overseas. They can automate. There's a McDonald's down the road I went into. It's a fully automated, one of the first of its kind, at least here in Tucson, Arizona. Fully automated. When I walked in to get a burger, I was greeted by a girl who was steering me away from going to the register, and she wanted me to use her kiosk now. Obviously, I told her no. But there was multiple people coming in and were glad to use that little kiosk. It was a little touch screen, so to speak. I looked over, and there was just one person working the registers. They will compensate. They will make adjustments to compensate for those extra costs of doing business, and that includes your pay raises when it's mandated by government. Now, I'm not talking about the pay raises that you earn individually from each other. I'm talking about a across-the-board mandate from government. So that is all I have to really say about this. I believe in getting raises, but not mandated by government. You folks take care. Give me a thumbs up, and obviously leave a comment. I'm very curious to hear your perspective. Take care of yourselves.